Hello, my name is Sarah and I am an English teacher and language anxiety coach. I help people overcome their fear of speaking and using English. In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 common mindset problems that people experience when they need to use English at work. And I'm going to offer 3 suggestions on how you can overcome those problems. So the 3 mindset problems I'm going to talk about are feeling inferior and comparing yourself to other colleagues, obsessing over your mistakes, and avoiding problems instead of looking for solutions. So feeling inferior to other people, it's very, very common, and I'm sure that most of us at some point have felt inferior to other people. Now, I work a lot with women, and I particularly seem to work with women who are perhaps in their late 30s through to their late 40s. And in our generation, we may not have experienced or had the opportunity to experience living abroad to the same extent that young people do now. And this means that for some of the clients that I have worked with, they are now in management positions or in leadership positions, and they have colleagues working under them who were able to go and study abroad or live abroad, whereas my client did not have that opportunity. Now, we all know that living abroad and living in the country where the language we are learning is spoken is the best way to learn, right? It's almost impossible to replicate that environment in our own countries. And what this means for my clients is that although they do have good English, it's not quite as natural and as flowing as their younger colleagues' English is. And so for my clients, the older ladies, this can be very, very difficult because they find themselves in a position where they are leading, but the people they are leading have better language skills. And this brings up a lot of uncomfortable feelings of inferiority and doubt and all this kind of stuff. So if this feels familiar to you, it's really, really important to, be honest and be realistic. You cannot be expected to have quite the same level of fluency and naturalness in your speaking as your colleague who lived for 4 years in America. It's just not going to happen. So being realistic to yourself and being honest to yourself and being able to say, hey, you know what? Her English is amazing, but she had that great opportunity and I didn't have that opportunity. But it's okay because I'm really good at this, 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 and this. And you need to look for those things that you are good at because there are going to be plenty of things, you just can't see them yet. So the next thing, and this is super common, and this is when people obsess over their mistakes. And it's so common. If you're going to be in a meeting where you've got all your English speaking colleagues, you might be worried about making mistakes. If your boss is going to be listening to you, you're going to worry about mistakes too. The truth is that worrying about your mistakes is never going to improve your English speaking. In fact, worrying about your mistakes is one of the worst things you can do for your spoken English. Instead of worrying about your mistakes, you need to be concentrating on your message. That is what people really care about. People don't care about grammar, not really. Not if they understand what you're saying. People don't really care about tenses as long as they understand what you are saying. And yes, of course, you should be aiming to improve. You should be aiming to get more accurate over time. But in those situations where you are trying to convey a message, the message is far more important than the words and the grammar that you use. And then the third problem is avoiding problems. And this could be things like avoiding speaking in meetings because you can just get your younger colleague to do it for you because she's amazing. Or avoiding talking to the native speakers in the break time because you just don't really understand what they're talking about. Avoidance will work for you in the short term, but it is not going to work for you in the long term. In the long term, you need to find appropriate solutions for yourself so that you can start to solve your problems. And a really good way to do this is to set a timer on your smartphone, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and write a list of any solutions that you can think of to your problem. Anything at all, doesn't matter. No censorship, no judgment. And when you have your list, look at it and maybe just choose one or two things that you can start to do right now that will begin to solve your problem. So the three most common problems I see are feeling inferior to colleagues, focusing on mistakes, and avoiding taking action. If you can solve those three challenges of using English in the workplace, I am convinced that you will not only become a better English speaker, but also a more happy and confident person. Thank you for watching my video.